disappointing. The areas that we need to really be good in is creating extra possessions. That would be offensive rebounds, turning them over. We weren't able to do that at a really high level, and then we have to shoot threes at a real higher clip. Not necessarily, I mean, obviously you want to make them, but they attempted 50, we only got up 24. So points of emphasis, unfortunate 7-point play. Don't see that too often, but yeah, that doesn't get any easier. You got a game tomorrow and against the best team in the league. So you got to lick your wounds, come back and be ready to roll.
Doug, you talked about getting the number of threes up more. How do you guys do that as an offense?
Well, especially against teams that are ready, it's got to be 1-2 dribbles at the most. Can't get too far in the paint. Just kick it out. It's the same recipe when we played them in Boston and shot more threes than them. So just the ability to move the basketball. You can't hold on to it too long. You got to make quick decisions. You got to be ready to shoot when you catch the ball. I thought that we passed up some. I have to go look at it, but we didn't pass up, 26. But the ability to make sure that we are shooting threes and getting them up at a higher clip. I mean, my number for Keegan is 10. He only got up 5. Zach is at least 10. He only got up 5. So we got to make sure that we are letting the ball go as soon as we get it. Get your feet set, be ready to shoot it. If they're close to you, put it on the floor, drive, kick, swing on to the next one, and create a shot once you create the advantage.
Coach, with things being so tight in the playing positions and things like that, what kind of things can you do to kind of, if guys are playing tight, to get them to loosen up a bit?
I mean, when I see them daily, they're loose, and I try to make sure that they're loose. But when you get out there on the floor, I mean, it's just like the other night. Like, they're in position to win the ball game, but you do got to make shots. That's just really what it comes down to. So, have fun, understand, and I tell them this all the time, and I'm sure they get sick of hearing it, but this is a kid's game. That's when you fell in love with it. Play with that same amount of joy, play with that same drive and desire, and those are the things, all the extra efforts, all the extra possessions, those are the hustle things that make you feel good and help your teammates. We did not do that tonight, they did, and thus the outcome.
Where did you kind of see some of the separation that maybe in that second half, especially?
Probably with the 7-point play, it probably started there. You make a 3, you hit a free throw, and then you hit another 3, and before you know it, they just create some separation for, going into the half down 5 in a decent position, even to close it to 10 at the end of the third. Like, you're there, but you got to get some stops, and the inability to get stops. They got some really key offensive rebounds. The kick out to the Schreier kid in the corner for 3, like, those are the ones that really break your back. Those are the things that when we played there, we had 17 offensive rebounds. So we were flying around. Tonight, we didn't fly around at the level that you need to beat and compete against a world championship team.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, obviously you have some steep opposition. Is there kind of a yin and yang to this team right now during this kind of stretch where it's been tough to find victories?
What do you mean?
In terms of maybe, I mean, obviously, they've been beyond defense or even on the offensive end, whether there's the level of compete versus, how you guys get off to start. So you kind of seeing it kind of swing in different ways during this stretch of games?
I mean, I think that it kind of goes like that for everybody. When we played them there, they were probably in the swing. And really, to be honest with you, in our league, except for the super elite teams, it's the teams that are playing well and peaking at the right time. And that's what you got to do. When we are playing at a really high level, we can compete and beat anyone in my estimation. What makes it tough is, guys keep getting sick, guys keep getting hurt, and you got to bring them back, but then you can be rusty in different things, but we have to live with that because those are our guys, and we trust our guys, and we don't roll with them. So you just have to find a way. You have to find your energy sometimes. You have to create shots sometimes. And once you find something in the game that works, you got to milk it until they figure something else out. And the other night we did not do that. Tonight we were a little better at it, but you know, the hustle plays, the making sure that we're getting loose balls and all those things. Those are the areas that, you know, just looking at it, I gotta go back and watch the tape. But, listen, they competed, but like I told you guys before, 80% is not good enough for this team. We have to be 90 plus. We can't fall asleep for, you know, a 4-minute span, a 5-minute span. We gotta make sure that we're taking good shots. That might mean slow down a little bit. I know everybody wants to play fast, but sometimes you slow down to speed up, and they'll be better.
Last one, Jason.
Doug, you look at the two conferences, and like in the East, you've got teams that are 10, 11 games under 500 that are in the play-in like picture right now. And in the West, you know, you've got 11 teams that are like right there at you know, either close to 500 or better. Like, can you just speak to the level of competition out here, and then just how tough this, you know, conference and this race is?
You know, for a long time, Jason, it's always been that way. You know, I've heard pundits talk about, you know, the best 16 teams, or now it would be the best 20 or whatever it is, should make it. It's tough. The Western Conference is an absolute animal, but you know, we'll be better for being in it because you're facing elite competition every single night. And going down the stretch, you know, we got the best of the best coming in. And whether that's Eastern Conference, and you got Cleveland, you got, you know, these teams coming in, Boston, now OKC, like Eastern Conference, high level, Western Conference, high level. It just happens to be the timing of what it is. So we have to find a way. First of all, compete, which we did, but you can't do it for a half, you can't do it for 3 quarters. You gotta make sure that you do it for 4 quarters, and then you have to have the ability to close the ball game. We have closers, but we gotta put ourselves in position to do that.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Doug.
Appreciate you. Yep.
Coach.